and the kid he just sat there and he was like, his mouth was wide.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. And not enough people are talking about it. We all can make a difference. It starts right here. Hey, this is Mr. Daniel with Pandas Karate. Thank you so much for watching our next video on bullying. And today I have a special guest with me. You guys might know her. Miss Jocelyn is here. Miss Jocelyn, can you please tell our audience a little bio about yourself?
Oh, absolutely. My name is Jocelyn Barwick. I've known Mr. Daniel for 10 plus years. We used to work together over at Pandas Karate. We had the best times over there. He's one of the best instructors and persons that I know. When we used to work together, we used to have so much fun teaching all the kids. And in fact, he's got a few kids that's here that grew up with him at Kicks. I've been teaching and practicing martial arts for 27 years. I started when I was 12. Took a little hiatus, for a few years, and I started back up again. Got all the way up to my second degree over at Pandas Karate, and then went to Kicks, got my third and my fourth degree, and it's such a big confidence builder. Just because even before that, my confidence level was extremely low, especially when I was growing up. Ever since I've done martial arts for the last 27 years, it's boosted like through the roof, and that's a little bit about me.
I really like that Jocelyn also is a local Olney resident. You've been living there for a while now, right? 18
years.
Whoa, that's 18. A long time. What's cool too is that Jocelyn, she's been around training with some of the best martial art instructors here in Maryland. She's also trained in, where was it, Ohio too?
Oh no, it was in Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah, Revolution Martial Arts. So that's a great place.
So she's been around everywhere, so that's what's really cool. But today, Jocelyn, I brought you here because I wanted you to share with our audience a bullying experience you had. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. When I was in high school, actually 9th grade, at the time my brother was a senior, and he was on the wrestling team, so that helped. When I was in 9th grade, I went to school with this kid. I would love to say the name, but I'm probably not going to. Just want to say that we weren't friends, but we were acquaintances. So we were in, I believe it was either history class or Spanish class, I can't remember. And it was right after lunch. And I'm talking to a few of my friends until the bell rang. And this guy just taps me on my shoulder, and out of the blue, he shows me this picture that he drew of me. Well, it was a terrible drawing, by the way. Drew this picture and said, Jocelyn, this looks like you. And it was like a stick figure, and the hair was like all over the place. And I looked at it, he thought it was funny, but obviously I didn't, so I didn't laugh. And I was thinking in my mind, I was like, okay, all right. Nice that you have talent like that. So what did I do? I told my brother, because again, he's a senior. And so that next class, and unfortunately I had the same kid in my class, the next one. So the door opens. The bell had already rung. Teacher was about to teach. The door opens. My brother walks in. His friend was also on the wrestling team, and his brother. All three of them walk in. And so the teacher just stops and stares. And they walk up to this kid, the one that I told that drew a picture. And my brother told him, if you ever talk to my sister like that again, or do anything to hurt her, it's going to be big problems for you. And the kid he just sat there and he was like, his mouth was wide open, like his jaw just dropped. There's nothing that he could have said, because he didn't deny it. He says he did draw it, but then again, and my brother was like, don't you ever do that again. And after that, from that day forward, after that, never had an issue out of this kid, ever. And then it was the end of that.
That's an incredible story. So I guess your brother really came in and helped you out a little bit.
He did. So it does pay that you have older siblings.
Why do you think kids even do that? Like, what gave that kid, all right, you know what, I'm just going to target you and mess around with you. Why do you think Like, what's the psychology behind that? Like, why did he do that to you? Why do you think he picked you?
I think that he thought that I was an easy target. He found out soon enough that I was not. So I think what they do, kids like that, is they pick the weakest target that they think that's not going to stand up for themselves or do anything about it. And they look for the ones who are maybe loners, or who they see that doesn't talk to anybody, that keeps to themselves. And they think it's cool to do that, not realizing that, you know, bullying comes in many ways. You know, it's physical, it's verbal, and it's exclusion. You know, for me, thankfully, it never got physical, but it was more verbal and everything. But kids like that, my opinion, it comes from home. You know, they're not raised for parents to say, oh, you shouldn't do this. It's wrong. And in fact, it is wrong. And when the parents don't do anything about it at a young age, it builds and builds until it's too late. And then kids like that, they grow up to be recluses, or, you know, they have no confidence in themselves. You know, if the ones who are doing the bullying, you know, some of them grow out of it, some get worse, and some just don't care, you know, and it's not right.
I think that word that you used, the word target, I think that really stood out for me, because, you know, you could just be minding your own business. You're just sitting there and just relaxing, but yet somehow that makes you vulnerable. And that's the weirdest thing. Any kid that's going through that, I mean, I know that even happened to me too. What could be that number one advice of, you know, that kid that, you know, is just to themselves, doing the right thing, but what's your best advice for someone in that scenario?
If that ever happens, whether or not it was in the same scenario that I had or any other scenario, if you're ever being bullied by anyone, they say, oh, don't tell anybody, or I'm going to hurt you, or whatever they're going to say that they're going to do to you, tell someone immediately. Tell someone, whether it's an older sibling, a friend of a parent, your parent, teacher. You got to tell somebody, because if you don't, it's going to build and it's going to build until something bad happens. And then unfortunately, a lot of the times when it does get bad, it gets to the point where there are school shootings. It gets to the point where, unfortunately, that there's suicide. I believe they call it bullycide. So they've got to do something about it as soon as it happens. You got to tell someone.
I love it. Telling somebody is that key word right here. Jocelyn, thank you so much for being on the show today. Please share this post, spread the word, because only with you can we make a difference. We all can make a difference. It starts right here.